rounds of boxing for the lineal heavyweight championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, boxing fans joining us around the world on ESPN Plus and across the UK on BT Sport, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing you first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6 feet 5.5 inches, presented in association with Salida Promotions, entering the ring wearing black trunks with blue and gold trim. Fighting out of New York City by way of Sundsvall, Sweden, he weighed in at 236 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 20 wins, no losses, one no contest, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in his second U.S. appearance, here is the WBA European champion and the #4 world-ranked heavyweight contender, introducing the undefeated challenger, Otto Wallin. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner, standing at 6 feet 9 inches, representing Queensberry Promotions and MTK Global. Wearing white trunks with red and green trim, fighting out of and representing Manchester, England. He weighed in at a ready 254.4 pounds. He also is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 28 wins, no losses, one draw, with 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the popular former unified heavyweight world champion, tonight making the 5th defense of his current title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the acclaimed and undefeated, the reigning and defending lineal heavyweight champion of the world, introducing El Rey de los Gitanos, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. And now introducing our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Tony Weeks.
Okay, here we go. Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing room. Okay? On the belt line is okay. On the belt line is okay. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
And so the remarkable comeback of Tyson Fury continues with this, his 5th contest in the space of 15 months. As the weight continues to tumble, so the confidence all around him continues to rise. Up ahead, possibly, the rematch against Deontay Wilder somewhere in the United States in the early part of next year. Motivation enough to get it right tonight as the bell sounds for the first round here of a Schedule 12. Fury making his 2nd successive appearance in Las Vegas, as Wallin it is who takes up a stance in the center of the ring with his southpaw stance. 6 foot 5 inches tall, unbeaten in 20 fights at the age of 28. Tyson Fury flicks out a left-hand jab. It's the scoring punch, first scoring punch of the opening round inside the first 30 seconds. He's on the back foot, is Fury, as he so often is, as has been so effective for him throughout his 11-year professional career. He's range finding with the left jab, just flicking it out at times. It's only landed once so far, and again he does it. He's keeping Wallin distracted the whole time, and another one. This time it rocks back the Swede's head, and he holds on to the top rope as he throws that shot to Tyson Fury. You may have heard the referee, Tony Weeks, just warning him that's an illegal tactic. Fury, again, with his back virtually to the ropes on the left-hand side of the ring, flicks out a jab towards the body. It's shy of the target. Wallin waiting for his opportunity to try to make Fury miss and then make his way in towards the body, as he does with a left hand to the body. It's one of his favourite punches, Wallin, and he throws it towards Tyson Fury's midriff, and it lands, but Fury comes back with a much more solid left hand to the chin. It's been all left hand work so far in the opening minute of the contest from Tyson Fury. Left hand from Wallin just gets through, lands on the
Stop, I got you.
bottom end of the jaw of Tyson Fury. Connected also with the chest, just grazed the jaw, but just a warning for Fury that Fahlin has come here and he's not overawed. Looks very calm and composed, the Swede, at this stage, even though he has taken a few jabs from Fury in the first couple of minutes of the contest. Left hook from Fury, tries to time it as Fahlin comes forward, mounting another attack towards the torso area, the body area of Fury. Fury moves off the ropes now towards the centre of the ring, swinging with the left hand, flicks out the left hand, and it's just caught by the right hand of Fahlin on the way through. The southpaw right jab met with the orthodox left jab of Tyson Fury. The two punches colliding in midair. The two men are virtually in the centre of the ring. Fury bends his knees, goes towards the body with a jab, taken on the elbows by Fahlin. Fahlin stepping after his man, throws a jab, was just about to throw the left hand but thought better of it because he was out of range at that stage. He tried a flicking overhand right, overhand left from the backhand, the southpaw, but didn't quite get through. Last 30 seconds as the referee steps in to break them away from a close quarter exchange on the ropes on the right-hand side of the ring as we look on. Fury comes back to the centre of the ring now. Fahlin with the gloves held high, Fury with the left hand down, not so much by his waist as by his thigh. Now he raises it slightly. Those gloves, like his shorts, in the colours of the Mexican flag, the white, the red and the green, with Gypsy King emblazoned across the front of the waistband of his trunks. And there's a stare down at the end of the opening round. Andy Lee, former world middleweight champion, alongside me in the commentary position. Your thoughts on that first 3 minutes?
An even round, hard to split them. Some good jabs from Tyson Fury and one good, really good left hand from Fahlin. You can see Fahlin has a plan. He's coming here, of course he has a game plan, but he's coming really to execute a game plan where he's going to try and press with his feet, but counter punch Tyson Fury, let Tyson Fury be the first one to punch, and then look for openings in between his punches. Yeah, he's in his corner. He's got Joey Gamache, who's a very experienced trainer, two-time world champion himself. So, of course, they have a game plan. But the question is, can he maintain it for 12 rounds? That's the question.
But in the early stages there, Andy, showing that he's not overawed and that he knows his way around a ring.
Yeah, and Tyson Fury depends a lot on feints and for his opponents to buy those feints. Fahlin, he's well-schooled European style, is not buying those feints at the moment.
Bell sounds at the start of the second round. Very even first round, just shaded by Tyson Fury on my card. Andy Lee couldn't split them. Now a couple of jabs from Fury at the beginning of the second round. One of them landed on the body, one of them on the right hand glove of Fahlin. Fahlin flicking out the right hand. He's looking, if not confident, certainly like he feels like he belongs at this level. A huge step up for the Swede at the age of 28. A jab from Fury just grazes the right hand side of the face of the Swede, who goes to the body with that left hand. It is a favourite punch of his, and it's been successful for him against much lesser opposition, it has to be said, in his 20-fight career, in a professional career that began in 2013. And now he tries a couple of lead-off right hooks from that southpaw stance, and Fury just eased his way away. Fury too now has switched to the southpaw stance and he's holding his ground close to the centre of the ring. He flicks out a right hand jab, it just bounces off the top of the head of Fahlin. Doesn't rock back the Swede's head, it just virtually tapped him on the top part of the head. Now Fahlin goes to the body with a right uppercut, flicks out a jab after that, but Fury had gone by the time that punch had reached anywhere near its intended destination. We've had a minute of the second round. It's been a quiet round, both men in the southpaw stance. Fahlin has been like that for much of his career. Fury, certainly during his comeback, has become very much a switch hitter, flipping from the orthodox stance to the southpaw stance pretty much when he feels the need. And for most of this second round so far, he's been boxing from the southpaw stance. He flicks out a left hand as Fahlin almost rushed in. Fahlin's face is becoming slightly reddened, but that's as much from the exertions of the contest so far as any severe punishment that he's taken. There have been very few real significant scoring punches on either side at this stage, and Fury still in the southpaw stance, backs off from a couple of jabs, jab to the body this time from Fahlin, just gets through beneath the otherwise tightly held elbows of Fury. Fury bends his knees as if to throw a southpaw jab to the body. And Fallin makes Fury miss with a winging left hand over the top. Now Fallin gets to work with Fury on the ropes in a neutral corner. Good jabs from Fallin. He tries a left hand over the top, but he's met with a right-left combination from Fury, still in the southpaw stance. Suddenly the fight comes to life with 35 seconds to go in the second round. A good attack by Fallin, even though nothing landed with any real venom. It was a sign of the Swede's confidence that he feels he can close down Fury. Fury switches back to orthodox, flicks out a left hand, then followed by a right hand, but Fallin made him miss. Good work by Fallin, saw the punch coming and made Tyson Fury miss. Now around towards the centre of the ring. Fallin again, just starting to breathe quite heavily. He's having to think hard and work harder than in any of his professional contests so far, as we hear the timekeeper rapping his sticks to denote that there's 10 seconds to go in the round, and they come together in an exchange on the ropes on the left-hand side of the ring. End of round 2. Andy Lee.
Really good round for Fury there. Landed some really good meaty jabs and some good counter left hands off the ropes. And even though Wallin had that sustained attack, Tyson Fury ended up being the one to finish it with a barrage of punches. Wallin has to be very careful not to be too over-aggressive. He has to control his aggression and be more methodical with it, because the more eager he is, the more open he'll leave himself to counters from Fury.
And Fury seems to be having control, if control's the right word, from long range at this stage.
Yeah, he's comfortable enough on the outside. There's been some spots where Wallin's manoeuvred him and got him out of position, but for the most part he's in control of where he wants to be in his positioning, and also in where he wants Wallin to be as well.
Patience.
The shout of patience there you heard was from Ben Davison in the corner of Tyson Fury. Just bide your time and wait for Fallin to make mistakes. That's been the approach throughout the build-up here as we start the third round of a scheduled 12 here with Tyson Fury. He hopes on the pathway to a rematch against Deontay Wilder in the early part of next year. It was in December of last year that they fought to a thrilling draw at the Staples Center over in Los Angeles. Fallin on the back foot, steps forward with a couple of jabs, walks onto a light right hand from Fury from his orthodox stance now. A right hand over the top again from Fury, gets through. Left hand from Fallin, though, was the best punch of that particular exchange, and it just sent Fury back onto the ropes, almost off balance, as much as hurt by that particular shot. Now Fury covers up. Left elbow took the right hand to the body, and then the right glove by his chin took the left hand to the chin from Fallin. So two good punches from the Swede, but terrific defence from Fury, covered up and took both of those shots without any real punishment. Now Fury feinting again, as Andy Lee said, it's a big part of his game. Then he flicks out a jab and it lands on the right hand side of the head of Fallin. Another jab from Fury gets through. Second time in succession that the two jabs got through. Then a right hand over the top from Fury is just shy of the target. Fallin works away on the inside, but Fury covers up again, neutral corner, far side of the ring. Fallin steps off, told to by the referee, as we head to the halfway stage of round number 3 of what's been a more competitive fight than many suggested it would be. Fallin is forced onto the back foot for just about the first time of the fight, as Fury bends his knees and throws a jab to the body, taken on the elbows by Fallin. Fallin moving around towards his left here, circling around potentially into the path of a right hand from Fury. Fallin goes to the body with a left hook around about the belt area, close to being illegal, but Fury just steps off. No complaints. Jab to the chin from Fallin, gets through. Then left-right combination from Tyson Fury. Good work from the Gypsy King, El Rey Gitano, as he's been calling himself in Spanish this week. Another right hand from Fury. You hear the snort as he throws those punches and really puts the drive into them. Pushes them through from the floor to get the full power of his 18-stone frame in behind the punch. Fallin now tries to trap Fury in the corner, goes to the body with a left hook, does get through, but then he's claimed by Fury. Fury holds on and the referee separates them. 40 seconds to go in round number 3. Fury steps off the ropes now back towards the centre of the ring. A probing jab from Fallin, but it was apprehensive. He drew it back for fear of what was coming at him, because Fury's been very accurate this round with the straight shots, the long shots, the jabs and the straight rights. Now Fury backs off to a neutral corner, covers up on the ropes, lands with a left hand, but Fallin also tries to get through with his own left hand, the backhand from the southpaw stance. And now we see there's a nick on the eye of Tyson Fury, the right eye. There's blood, and there's blood now streaming down the right-hand side of the face of Tyson Fury. We'll have to establish whether that was from a punch or from a clash of heads. There have been a couple of untidy clinches here in this round, and now Fury goes back to his corner, and there's blood, and he's dabbing at it with his right glove. There's blood by the right eye of Tyson Fury. It's above the eye, and at the moment, or certainly for that portion of the third round, the blood was streaming down the right-hand side of his face, and we're getting a close-up look of that now with the images posted to us at ringside, and that is a huge gash. That's the type of gash that could force a stoppage here very soon.
It's a very nasty cut, and to me, I think it was a clash of heads right before the cut was apparent. You could see that they were coming together, and I didn't see any significant punch from Wallin.
Don't try and bang him out, anything silly, don't panic, okay?
Just waiting to see if we could hear from the referee Tony Weeks there as to whether he had judged that to come from a punch or from a clash of heads, but you think it was from a clash of heads?
I think it was clash of heads.
That's key.
We're waiting to see a replay on the screens here, the big screens, but we haven't seen anything yet. If it's declared no contest, then it will go to the scorecards after 4 rounds, but we will have to wait and see.
So this would be a significant round. If it goes 4 completed rounds, then an accidental injury would lead to the fight being judged according to the scorecards as they stand at that stage of the contest. But if it's stopped in this round, the 4th round, and it is because of an accidental clash of heads, then it will be declared a no contest. So we're into the 4th round, and mild drama here, and there is blood flowing again from that cut, and it's a sizable gash, not just a cut above the right eye of Tyson Fury. Half a minute gone in round number 4, and no doubt Wallin will be buoyed by the sight of that blood as Fury now tries to keep his distance. A short, sharp right hand, wings in a right uppercut. Wallin makes him miss with that and continues on the warpath, continues marching forward, drives Fury back to the ropes on the far side of the ring. And Fury's shouting at him now as if to say, watch the head, and let's keep it tidy, and let's keep it legal. But Wallin, with a streak of some of that blood now on his own back, is clearly inspired by what he's seeing here, even if it was caused by a clash of heads. We're into the 2nd minute of round number 4 here. Wallin steps forward with a very tentative right jab towards the body, landed nowhere near the target. Fury getting on the front foot. Does he feel like he really needs to step up the gears here and to force a stoppage in his favour by overpowering Wallin? They're back in the centre of the ring. It's the 2nd half of round number 4. Fury is looking confident. He's looking assured. Looks as though he's got over the slight tremor that he had at the end of that 3rd round when he was dabbing away at that cut, because he hasn't had to deal with too many of those in his professional career. Left hand over the top from Wallin, followed by a jab, and the Swede here is proving to be a real nuisance for Tyson Fury as he tries to clip in a right uppercut. Fury, another jab from Wallin gets through. Fury in the centre of the ring here, still dabbing away at that cut. It is definitely troubling Fury. He just shakes his head. Again, he dabs away for the 2nd time in no more than 10 seconds at that cut. And it's still streaming with blood. And it's got worse, it has to be said, in this round. That blood is flowing down the right-hand side, over the cheekbone and down towards the jaw of Fury. Flicks out a jab, then a right hand over the top from Fury. Dives into the fray. 30 seconds to go as the referee separates them. 30 seconds to go in round 4. Wallin almost got set to mount an attack. Just thought better of it. Stepped back, feinted instead. Fury's on the front foot this time, driving Wallin back towards the red corner on that far side of the ring. Fury again steps forward. Southpaw orthodox stance, flicking out the left hand, dabbing with the left hand as if the big right hand is to come. He tries the right hand, times it as Wallin mounts his latest attack. A jab from Fury towards the high part of the head of Wallin. Fury goes back to his corner, and let's see if we can listen in to what Ben Davison in that corner has to say.
Was that accidental? Yeah.
Headbutt, yeah.
So Ben Davison in the corner, Andy Lee saying that it was accidental, and that's what Tyson Fury is asking, because he's fearful that the fight will be stopped because of a legal punch causing that cut rather than an accidental headbutt. And the key difference is, if it was adjudged to be a legal punch by the referee, then it will be a stoppage in favour of Wallin. but if it's accidental, we will go to the scorecards as they stand at whatever point in the fight we're at.
And that would be justice served, because even in that last round, the round 4, there was 3 or 4 times where their heads came together. When you have two boxers with opposing stances, southpaw against orthodox, it's just the way they line up. Their heads will always come together, and Wallin, being the smaller man, is always coming up and is always dangerous with the head.
Bell sounds then as we move into round 5, and a huge lump of grease has been applied to that gash above the right eye of Tyson Fury, who's comfortably in front on our cards, and he flicks out a couple of jabs from his orthodox stance in the centre of the ring. Faline responds with a left hand towards the body, then a jab towards the body from the Swede, but neither of them land. A couple of jabs from Fury, then a right hand over the top. So far they've managed to stem the flow of blood across the first half a minute of this round number 5 of a scheduled 12. The cut that appeared in the 3rd round. A long way for Tyson Fury to travel if this is going to go to the cards. Right hook from Faline missed, left hand to the body did just get through and drove Fury back to the ropes, but Fury was voluntarily going back there anyway, on the back foot, waiting for Faline to come forward and looking to exploit the gaps. Left hand over the top from Faline, and then he grabs the head of Fury and drags it down. Still, they've managed to stem that flow of blood for a minute in this round, unlike in the previous round. They seem to have done a better job this time, although Faline hasn't landed anywhere near the jaw or the face or any area anywhere near the cut so far in this 5th round. Right hand over the top from Fury, gets through, but then Faline turns him around with neat footwork. Good jab from the southpaw stance from Fury. Then he flicks out another left-hand jab, switching effortlessly from orthodox to southpaw, bemusing and bewildering Faline. But Faline tries to roughhouse Fury back into the blue corner, just over there on the far side of the ring. Now Faline gets back onto the front foot, still looking very aggressive and still looking very assured here on what is a big step up for the Swede compared to anything he's faced in his career so far. He's still on the front foot, but Fury is happy to be on the back foot, flicking out the left-hand jab, keeping Faline at range. Moves around towards his right as Fury. Now there is a trickle of blood reappearing down the side of his cheek again on that right-hand side of his face. Fury flicks out a jab. Faline walks onto a right uppercut, beautifully timed punch from Fury. He tries it twice in a row, the second time it missed. He flicks around to the southpaw stance. Terrific right uppercut from Fury, beautifully timed, but it has to be said, Faline took it well and marched forward regardless. He goes forward. Again does the Swede, tries a left hand over the top. It's the backhand from the southpaw, but Fury saw it coming. Now Fury tries another right hand over the top. It's very ungainly, some of the action here. It's very messy at times, but Fury is managing to score with the cleaner punches. Again, Faline dances after his man, lands with a looping overhand left. He almost fainted with that shot to the body and then brought it up to the chin. Good work by the Swede. Best punch of his round so far, but another sharp right hand from Fury lands as we move to the last 10 seconds of the round. Good shot on the counter from Fury as he backed up onto the ropes, and now a lovely clipping right uppercut gets through once again as the Swede is made to miss with a left hand. End of round number 5. Andy Lee, your thoughts?
Good towards the end of that round with Tyson Fury. Wallin in that round he was just trying to put anything on Fury to rough him up. He just wants to get that cut and make it worse and worse and worse as these rounds go on. Fury needs to get away from that distraction of the cut, get away from the distraction of these tactics by Wallin, and get back to his boxing and try and put something significant on Wallin to discourage him from coming in so readily. Fury's landing clean, but a lot of the time he's moving back or leaning back away from Wallin, so there's not really that same power in the punches. He needs to settle down now and put some authoritative punches on Wallin, and that will stop him coming in and get his respect a little bit more.
But as far as your scorecard is concerned, 5 rounds completed. Have you given everything to Tyson Fury so far?
Every round so far. He's boxing really well in spurts, but as I said, this cut is a major distraction, hindering him.
It'll start to crack.
And hindering the work of the cornermen is one of the officials from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. By law, they have to be there making sure that nothing illegal is applied to the cut to help with the stemming of the flow of blood. We're into round number 6. Left hand from Faline gets through as Fury tried to land a right hand, and that might be the best punch of the round. And certainly the Swede is buoyed by that shot, and he marches forward again. And as Andy Lee said, he's producing roughhouse tactics here and just trying to maul and crowd and wrestle around Fury and make it as uncomfortable for the British fighter as he can. Fury a long professional career dating back now to 2009. Lovely right hand over the top. Then he tries a right hand to the body, does Fury. Over that apparent mishap at the beginning of the round. And a lovely right hand gets through from Fallin. And then Fury just backs up onto the ropes for a moment as if he was momentarily shaken by that right hook from Fallin. Good work from the Swede at the beginning of this, the 6th round. And there's still a minute to go. There's a minute gone, still 2 minutes to go. As Fallin gets on the front foot. Fury, jab to the body, right hand to the head. Good work from Fury, but he knows he's got a real challenge here from Fallin, the man who was dismissed by virtually everybody in the build-up here, but is producing the performance of his career and gets through with another left hand over the top. And Fury, whose head is dragged down, is forced to work away on the inside. This is a good round so far for Fallin as we reach the halfway stage of round number 6. Right hand over the top from Fury as he comes back into the centre of the ring now, decides to step off the ropes. He's going on the front foot now after successes for Fallin in the first half of this 6th round. Fury feinting as he so often does now. He's in the orthodox stance, drives Fallin back to the neutral corner, tries a right hand over the top, but he's grabbed and claimed by Fallin. Fallin does look to be breathing heavily because there's been more action in this fight than in any of his previous fights, and now the referee is taking Tyson Fury across to see the ringside doctor, and let's hear if we can listen into this discussion. So the doctor's looking on, wiping away the surface blood, and he's given the referee the instruction that the fight can continue. But clearly Fallin is inspired by the sight of the blood which is flowing freely again from that right eye, even though it's been cleared by the ringside doctor. Fury on the front foot, almost falling into his man. Now he opens up, right hook and then a left hook. Fallin with his back to the ropes is holding on. 40 seconds to go in round 6. This has been an eventful round because Fallin has had more success than in any of the previous rounds, and he drives Fury back to the ropes on the far side of the ring once again, and there's a huge smattering like a mask of blood down that right hand side of the face of Fury, and it's highly unlikely that he's going to get through the 12-round distance with that cut, as bad as it is. Now he drives Fallin back to the ropes on the far side of the ring, and yet more clashes of the heads there. The two men crashing away with the heads almost on the inside. Now Fury works away to the body, a right hand to the body, a left hook to the body. Closing seconds of round number 6 as Fallin tries to dab away at the cut of Fury as they came away from that particular exchange. And Fury looks at the referee as if to say, what are you going to do about that? As we head into the corner of Tyson Fury, and let's listen in to Ben Davison and what he has to say.
Shield. Okay, if you're going to dogfight him, when you change height, step in. Don't change height and stay there for him to keep pitter-patting. Change height, step into him, smother him.
So Ben Davison talking about changing height there, Andy. In other words, he's leaning down, leaning into Fallin.
Well, he's just referring to the second half, well, the last 30 seconds of that round after the referee stopped to have a look at the cut. Fallin had a great start to that round, and he won that round for me. But once the referee stopped him to look at the doctor, have a look at the cut, Fury said, I have to do something here. He walked forward, tried to impose himself on Fallin, put his pressure and his weight on Fallin, and tried to wear him down, trying to force a stoppage. This is a significant round in this fight. We have to see which way it turns.
Referee Tony Weeks has called another timeout, and the reason is this time he wants the corner of Tyson Fury to wipe away some of the surface grease. There is a huge smattering of grease, and there's a shake of the head from Tyson Fury. And Ben Davison steps up onto the ring apron to take away and maybe cheekily try to reapply some more grease. As Fallin, the Swede, goes onto the front foot, but he walks onto a left-right combination from Fury. Fury here looks inspired here, looks motivated to maybe even try and force a stoppage. He opens up at the beginning of this, the 7th round. We've moved into the second half of the contest, a stage at which many predicted we wouldn't get to. They thought that Fallin would be outclassed, but he's shown here that he really knows his way around a boxing ring. A right uppercut from Fury is wild and is made to miss, but he gets through with a left hand from the southpaw stance. He's boxing from the southpaw stance now, like Fallin. Fallin has been in that stance throughout his career and throughout tonight, but Fury has been switch hitting, and now he leans in and falls in on Fallin trying to make his greater weight tell, leaning in towards his man, which is negating his huge reach advantage. Fury gets wild, swings away towards the body as Fallin covers up in a neutral corner, tight on the inside. Fury tries a right uppercut as the two heads come together once again, and great danger of aggravating that cut and maybe even forcing one onto the head of Fallin. Fallin tries to work away on the inside, punches Fury around the back. Fury here just lifts his shorts, grits his teeth, gets set to mount the next attack, flicks out a jab, is made to miss. Clearly that right eye and the cut by the right eye is troubling the concentration of Fury. Right hand from Fury drives Fallin back to the ropes, but the Swede takes it well, although he does back up, and Fury goes after him once again, looking to exploit the gaps now, and he's two right hands in a row from Fury. Terrific work, and many of his fans at ringside rise to their feet. A left hand, a lazy left hand from Fallin as he backs up, and he's now got a huge lump underneath his left eye, the Swede. So both men here showing the signs of the battle. Right hand from Fury, the third one in the space of 30 seconds, gets through onto the chin of Fallin. Left hand from Fury, flicks it out, and there's a momentum now in the noise of the crowd. They sense that Fury here is really beginning to get on top. We've given him 5 of the completed 6 rounds, but he is so badly troubled by that cut that appeared in the third round, we think from an accidental clash of heads. Now Fury works away on the inside, tries a right uppercut, but still Fallin is there fighting back, throws a right hook to the body from his southpaw stance. Right hand over the top again from Fury. Just a sign that the legs of Fallin are not as strong as they were in the earlier parts of the contest. Half a minute to go. Right hand over the top, then a right uppercut from Fury as the blood reappears by that right eye. Right hand from Fury is met with a jab from Fallin. They land almost simultaneously. Fury slaps away towards the body and then tries a right hook to the chin. Another one of the untidy wrestling episodes on the ropes on the left hand side of the ring. Last few seconds of round number 7, in which Tyson Fury, as Andy Lee suggested, had to get back on top, and he has. He steps after his man here, feints with the right hand, sways, misses with the right hand at the end of the round as Fallin has still got plenty of guile about him, plenty of stamina, still thinking strongly, and made Fury miss with a big shot at the end of the round. Andy Lee, end of round 7, how do you see it?
That one to Tyson Fury, big, but this is turning into a really, really good heavyweight fight. It's entertaining, there's action, and there's drama with the cuts. Tyson Fury, if he can maintain this pressure that he put on this round, I think he'll stop Wallin in the next three rounds, because you can see small signs of Wallin starting to feel the pace, feel the extra weight of Fury, and also feel, you know, having to concentrate for 3 minutes a round when you haven't done it so far in your career. It's a big step and a big ask to take that leap. So I think you're starting to see him unravel a little bit.
And there's a wide gash, which is maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide across the top of the right eye, and a lot of the talk in the build-up has been about Deontay Wilder, but that cut's going to take a long time to heal.
That will take some time, so like the sooner Tyson Fury can get this fight over with, let the healing start, the better.
Well, the promoter Bob Arum was saying how he didn't want either Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury to take warm-up contests. And now Tyson Fury once again is being attended to by the referee, who wants to check on that surface grease and also on the ties around the cuffs of Fury's gloves. But now we're into round number 8 of an eventful fight. As Andy Lee said, it's turning into a terrific heavyweight contest as a huge dab of grease drops from the right eye of Fury onto the canvas beneath him. He steps onto the front foot, lands a lovely jab. First scoring punch of this round number 8. We've given Fury 7 of the completed 8 rounds so far, but he's been troubled since the 3rd round by a cut, and it's a bad one. It's a gash above the right eye, and the corner have tried but so far failed to stem the flow of blood. But it is a huge cut, and in many jurisdictions around the world, Tyson Fury might well have been stopped by now, and if it is stopped at this stage, then if it has been confirmed as an accidental clash of heads, it will go to the scorecards, and Tyson Fury surely will be adjudged the winner. But Fallin here has acquitted himself really well on what is a huge step up in class. The Swede goes to the body with a jab, taken on the elbows by Fury. Fury leaning into his man, bending down without throwing any shots himself. Then he does a left hand to the body, lands on the midriff of Fallin, then on the right hand to the body, draws applause from Fury's fans here at ringside. Fallin moves away around towards his right, back to the centre of the ring. Blood starting to appear again by the right eye of Fury, and for the umpteenth time, so he dabs away at it. Good jab from Faline, gets through, just rocks the chin of Fury. Fury moves on to the front foot, lands a clubbing overhand right as the two men get involved in the latest of many close quarter exchanges, and the referee separates them. Left hand from Faline gets through. Fury misses with the right hand over the top as the Swede bends his knees and ducks underneath and moves off the ropes. They're separated again by the referee, whose light blue shirt now has a smattering of blood. It's Tyson Fury's blood from that gash above the right eye. A minute to go in round number 8. Good work again from Faline. Fury just blinks as that blood starts to seep into his right eye and really is beginning to give him problems here, as he's lost his momentum, he's lost his rhythm in this round. He's lost that flow that he had in the 7th round, but now he comes forward with a right hand and does land with a classy shot, a right hand to the jaw of Faline as we head towards the last 45 seconds of round number 8. Fury swaying, bending his knees, and then suddenly launches a right uppercut, but it lands only on the glove of Faline, who backs off himself. There isn't too much in the way of work rate from the Swede here. Into the 8th round, he's been much busier, forced to do much more in terms of work rate than he's ever had to do in his career. He holds on, blue corner, as Fury drives him back there, and the referee separates them once again. Fury takes a jab, looping overhand right lands, then a second one from Fury, then a left hook gets through from Fury here. 3 solid good punches in a row in a corner exchange in the blue corner. Right hand over the top from Fury, lands again, and Faline is noticeably backing up into a neutral corner far side of the ring. Left hand to the body from Fury gets through, and Faline noticeably almost bent over double there at the end of that particular round as Fury goes back to his corner for more work on that right eye. 8th round, Andy Lee.
This fight's turned into a version of George Foreman versus Michael Mora. Fury using his bigger height, bigger weight advantage, and with total disregard for whatever Valen does, is just walking him down, walking through him with the crossbody guard, which Foreman made famous, batting away any punches from Valen, and putting heavy punches on him. As Valen's starting to unravel now, I think another round or two of this and this fight's going to be called off, because he can't keep taking these punches, and I don't think he can
make sure
keep the pace.
keep your head still, let him do it.
Heavyweight boxing on 5 Live. Tyson Fury against Otto Faline, much more competitive than many expected. We've had 8 rounds. Big day of football to come on 5 Live on Premier League Sunday. Bournemouth against Everton at 2 o'clock, and then 4:30 it's Watford against Arsenal. Here we're moving into potentially the final third of the contest. 8 rounds completed, a scheduled 4 to go. Now Fury gets on the front foot, lands a right hand, another right hand, 2 successive right hands at the beginning of this 9th round, a round in which Andy Lee felt that Tyson Fury would really start to ram home that advantage, and once again a dab of grease falls from the eye onto the canvas. And Faline holds on in the centre of the ring and noticeably isn't firing back with the same alacrity as he was in the early stages of the contest. There's blood again already in the early stages of this 9th round around that right eye of Fury. So far, he's managed to negate those issues, but they have clearly troubled him on his way here to building a points lead against Faline in the 9th round. We're coming towards the end of the opening minute. It's scheduled for 12. Flick of a left hand from Tyson Fury. Tries a right hand over the top, didn't quite time it well. And then Faline tries to club away to the body underneath the right elbow of Fury until he's driven away by the referee. Again, it gets untidy towards the inside. It's Fury on the front foot now. Tries a left hook. It was a slap of a left hook, then a jab from the southpaw stance gets through. Good work with the right hand of Tyson Fury in the last couple of rounds, both from the backhand as an orthodox fighter, and then when he switches to the southpaw and throws the jab. They work away on the inside, they hold on as well. Good work to the body from Fury, slams in a left hook to the body of Faline, and it's good work, tiring the Swede all the time. The Swede moves away, he's still got that blemish beneath the left eye of his, but it hasn't swollen any worse than it was in the previous round. Fury tries another one of those clipping right uppercuts. He's had a couple of successes with those in the earlier part of the contest, but most of Fury's successes have come at long range from the stiff jab and the overhand right. He works forward again, does Fury, drives Faline back to the ropes, and they're separated by the referee, Tony Weeks, who warns Faline for hitting on the back of the head. Faline misses with a left hand over the top, and his punishment is a straight right from Fury, direct onto the jaw of the Swede. Good work from Fury. That's probably the most clinical punch of the round so far, as yet again he's forced to dab away at the blood. right-left combination from Fallin get through, but they were only light punches, and now he's driven back again, back to the red corner as Fury tries to mount the pressure here, to increase the pressure. Left hand from Fallin gets through. Fury wings in a right uppercut, whistles upwards and misses the chin of Fallin by 5 or 6 inches. Wasn't quite timing that, Fury. Now left right from Fury, then a right hand to the chin, left hook to the body. Fallin draws him on, invites him on, and then a left hand from Fallin gets through. Fallin now on the ropes, right hand to the body from Fury got through, and the elbows of Fallin noticeably came down. Good work to the body from Fury. Now he tries a right hand as Fallin steps off the ropes and tries to hold on, looking for some kind of sanctuary, and a lovely left uppercut from Fury followed by a right hand. He missed with the third punch of the combination. It was a left hook, and Fallin looking desperately tired, hanging on to the top rope at the end of round number 9 as he sits on his stool. That was a good round, Andy Lee, for Tyson Fury.
A really good round for Tyson, and he's shown that he can win ugly.
That's what the
this is not his prettiest performance, but he's forcing the issue because he has to of Wallin, and he has that cut, so he knows the fight could be stopped at any moment. He just wants to make sure he does this emphatically and gets stoppage. And look, I know Wallin's coach very well, Joey Gamache, and I think if there's another round or two of this, he might well pull out his fighter, because he's always thinking of fighting safety first.
Don't worry about that.
And Ben Davison has been saying to Tyson Fury in the corner, in the previous round in particular, volume and variety are the key.
Yeah, and for the most part he's done that. You know, you can see what Fury's known for. It's all the array of punches that he can throw, uppercuts, hooks, and that's what he's done in this round.
Bell sounds for round number 10 of what's been a very eventful heavyweight contest. Tyson Fury with a right hand to the body, then a left hand to the head, and Fallin is backed up onto the ropes here, and this is a significant attack for Tyson Fury at the beginning of round 10. He's really opening up now. A left hook rocks back the head of Fallin, and noticeably the Swede isn't firing back. There is one light-looking right hook from Fallin, but it didn't trouble Fury. Fury after his man now, flicks out a jab, right hand over the top, lands on the high part of the head of Fallin, who's got 2.5 minutes to go in this round number 10. He's won only one of the previous 9 on our cards. Clubbing right hook, 2 in a row from Fury as Fallin has his back to the ropes in the blue corner. Referee Tony Weeks steps in, and he's looking on here intently at the face of Fallin. Fallin tries 2 and 3 jabs here, working away. He wants to get to the finish here. He sways from the body, makes Tyson miss with a right hand, but Fury had already got through with a left hand. Again, the blood reappears from that cut over the right eye of Fury as a left hand from Fallin does get through. The Swede is gamely battling back here, flicks out a jab, and that gets through also. And the sheer vibration of the punch, even though it didn't land on the area where the cut is, has forced more blood to fly from that cut and to flow down the right cheek of Fury. Fury now, you hear the gasp of the crowd, lands a lovely right uppercut. He lands another left uppercut this time, both of them crunching off the jaw of Fallin with 1.5 minutes to go in round 10. Fallin again, he's looking across his corner at this stage with his back to the ropes. Fury leans into a short, sharp left hand from Fallin, who's still trying to fend off this latest attack from Fury, which is almost 2 minutes long now. It's been relentless since the beginning of the round. Right hand from Fury, then he swings into a left hook, and he really is trying to finish this one inside the distance. And there's a huge smearing of blood now across the top part of the back of Fallin. That's how much is flowing from the eye of Fury. Fury now, a clubbing right hand once again, then a left hook gets through around the guard of Fallin. Fallin holds on the inside, drags the head of Fury down in towards his own torso to try to negate and to refuse, deny Fury any punching room. Fury falls in with a winging right uppercut that just flew past the chin of Fallin. Fallin again flicks out a jab, but walks only on to a left-right combination from Fury. Again, you hear Fury putting all of his effort into these shots. Another right hand gets through from the Gypsy King. Fallin, though, sways from the waist and makes him miss in the latest attack on the ropes on the far side of the ring. Fury going after his man, swaying from the waist, but sways into a jab. Then he lands a jab of his own as Fury steps after his man after the almost obligatory now dab at the cut on the right-hand side of his face. Fury tries to give himself an angle, moves in again by bending his head, and he takes a clipping right jab from Fallin, and then the last punch of the round is a short jab downwards in its trajectory from Fury, landing on Fallin. End of round 10, Andy Lee.
Round 10 and Tyson Fury's best round of the fight so far. His output, his variety of punching, and it all stemmed from a body shot. And he's hurt Wallin several times to the body in that round. And I can't see Wallin making it out in the next 2 rounds. You know, it will be a monumentous achievement for him, but also quite dangerous for his corner, I think, to let him go on for another 2 rounds and take this kind of punishment. So they got to think carefully and look after the fighter, I think, here.
For what comes after.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a young fighter. He'll come another day. He's actually put on a very good showing here tonight. So why take unneedless punishment? You know?
2 to go. 2 to go.
2 to go, says Ben Davison, the trainer of Tyson Fury, in the corner. Rounds 11 and 12 to come. Or will Fallin make it to hear the final bell? Andy Lee has his doubts. The former world middleweight champion. Heavyweight boxing here on 5 Live. Tyson Fury against Otto Fallin of Sweden. On some of the odds layers cards in Vegas, Fury was 20 to 1 on, but it's been at most very competitive. He's been in front for most of the contest on our cards, but Fallin has been after him for much of the contest. He goes again onto the front foot, but a right hand from Fury lands on the left-hand side of the head of the Swede, and it's the best punch of that particular exchange. But then Fallin gets through with a clipping left uppercut on the inside. One of these close quarter exchanges. There's been a lot of wrestling, a lot of mauling, a lot of it's been untidy. And as Andy Lee was saying earlier in the commentary, this has been an opportunity for Fury to win ugly, and he gets through with a right uppercut, missed with a left hook that was the follow-up, as again they come together and they hold on. The referee lets them work away, lets them push away, lets them wrestle away on the ropes over on that far side. But now the referee's seen enough and decides to step in and separate them and says, get on and let's get some cleaner boxing here, as more blood appears by the right-hand side of the eye of Fury, who gets through with a brilliant right hook there. And the legs of Fallin just sagged there, and he almost crashed through the ropes as he tried to get away from the follow-up attack. Fury tries another one of those right hooks around the back of the left hand of Fallin, but this time Fallin was able to just deflect the punch, to parry the punch, and come back with a nice sharp left hand of his own. But Fury takes it, and regardless just presses on. We're into the second half of round number 11, the penultimate round. And a lovely left uppercut from Fury from a southpaw stance drives Fallin back. Fallin at this stage is content just to hold on as Fury now gets through with a short, sharp right hand. And again, Fury blinks as the blood goes into that right eye. He dabs away at it, moves some of that surface blood so that he can get a clear view of the Swede and what the Swede is intending to do. Particular problems for Fury in seeing the left hand of Otto Fallin at 28, who's produced the best performance of his career here. It hasn't been enough to win the fight, hasn't been enough to really trouble Tyson Fury too often. They've just been spasmodic successes for Fallin. Centre of the ring, he goes forward with 2 jabs, then a left hand to the body. Fury sees them coming, steps back out of range. Fury on the back foot, flicks out a jab. A light one lands on the high part of the head of Fallin. Then a good right hand lands from Fury as Fallin was out of distance on his latest attack. Charging after Fury. He spent a lot of the last 2.5 rounds on the back foot of Fallin, but now he steps forward once again. Good work to the body from Fury. And you can tell the way Fallin backed off to that hurt. And now Fury's getting through to the head. Left hook to the head, then a right hand to the head. And Fallin ducks down, looking for time here, looking for a reprieve. He backs off here. He's hurt, is Fallin here, by a shot to the body and the follow-up work to the head. You can hear the timekeeper rapping the sticks, and there's the bell to end round 11. And if there'd been maybe 20, certainly 30 seconds to go in that round, it might have been the end for Fallin. He was hurt to the body at the end of round 11. Another strong round for Tyson Fury.
Yes, but you have to take your hat out to Wallin. He's made it to the last round, and you think now with 1 round to go, you might see the final bell. Tremendous heart, tremendous courage. And you have to respect him for it. But a great round with Tyson Fury, punctuated by beautiful body shots. Really hurt.
He's going to go to that body. 12th round. Listen, that should re-inspire you. You're here. Come on, move on your feet.
Move on your feet,
And
go
then
to the
to your
body.
right
That should
side.
inspire you that this is the 12th round. A man you know well, Joey Gamache in the corner, a man who fought Arturo Gatti, Julio Cesar Chavez, but it's a losing cause.
It's a losing cause, and I think we all know that, but it's a moral victory if he makes it to the final battle.
The bell sounds then for the 12th and final round. Otto Wallin has somehow got this far, and some might say, having seen the cut above the right eye of Tyson Fury in the 3rd round, that Fury's got this far as well. He has been dominant, and if the fight were to be stopped at any stage, then he would have been given the verdict on the judges' scorecards as he steps onto the front foot once again. In confident style does Fury. One thing that has to be said about Fury is that the work rate here has been highly impressive. And Andy Lee has said a couple of times in commentary this morning, if you're just joining us and emerging from your slumber, that he's had to win ugly tonight, but he's managed to do that. No flow of blood at this stage. Oh, a left hand from Wallin gets through at the beginning of this 12th and final round, and there's a nod of acknowledgement from Fury. And Fury is backed up into a neutral corner, and suddenly Wallin senses a sensation here. Goes after his man. Fury just covering up, leaning in towards his man. Wallin now, left uppercut, right hook, a jab, left hand over the top. Fury responds with a straight right of his own. Fury on the ropes on the far side of the ring, swaying from the waist, leans forward and grabs Wallin around the neck in the centre of the ring. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in the 12th and final round, and Wallin has landed a stunning left hand that has put Tyson Fury on the back foot, and Fury has needed to regather his senses here just to take time to compose himself. And again, that smattering of blood appears by the right eye of Fury. He tries a lazy looking right hand over the top, and it's taken on the left glove of Wallin. Wallin gets on the front foot, was just about to throw a left hand but pulled it back because he was out of range and out of distance. Now Wallin goes to the body with a right hand followed by a left hand, jabs to the chin. Tyson swaying in the red corner over on the far side, moving from the waist, also moving his head, clipping Wallin on the way in with a left hook. Wallin fighting right to the end here in a way that very, very few outside of his camp had predicted. There's a minute to go in the 12th and final round. Wallin on the front foot, buries his head into the chest of Fury. Fury tries a right hand, then a left hand over the top, just grazing the high part of the head of Wallin from a southpaw stance. Then Fury drives the Swede back to the centre of the ring. 40 seconds to go in the 12th and final round. Fury swaying from the waist. Big right hand from Fury as he sways out of that particular defensive movement and swings the big right hand. It landed on the left-hand side of the jaw of Wallin, but the Swede took it well. Comes back with a couple of shots of his own, then follows up with 2 jabs. Fury takes those on the gloves. Fury stepping after his man now. His face quite literally a bloody mess as he forces Wallin back into the red corner. Jab from Fury lands, rocks back the head of Wallin, who seems to have lost the momentum from the early part of the round. Last few seconds of the 12th and final round here. Wallin tries to work away to the body, and in keeping with much of the contest, one of the last pieces of action of the contest is a wrestling maul towards the ropes, and Wallin raises both arms, punches the air. His victory is in reaching the final bell, and Tyson Fury with that huge gash above his right eye and looking at the blood that's flowing like a river down the right hand side of his cheek, you'd have to wonder why the referee in the first place and the ringside doctor also supervising from outside the ring apron have allowed the fight to continue, but they have, and it's gone the full 12 rounds. And Andy Lee, your verdict?
I want to say great, but a really, really good heavyweight fight, and made better because we didn't expect anything like that. The drama and the competitiveness of it. Wallin, he played his part in this fight. He was there all the way. He had a good game plan early on. Couldn't kind of match Fury, obviously, for size and strength, but then was outskilled as well as outwilled by Tyson. And then the cut, which made it dramatic, kind of got Tyson off his game plan, but once he regained his composure, found a way to win ugly. But I give Wallin the last round. I give him the last round, and a moral victory. We haven't made out of this fight without being stopped. A really entertaining fight, and a tough fight for both men. Taxing on both men. Tyson because he got the cut, and Wallin because he took a lot of punishment in the fight. We'll see how the cut looks once they cleaned up, but it'll be hard to see him fighting in February with that. That's a really, really bad cut, one that you would think would take 6 to 8 months to heal.
His wife is on the ring apron, Paris, looking pretty concerned. That is a huge gash. It's all of 2 inches wide. As we await the formal verdict from Jimmy Lennon Jr., Tyson Fury against Otto Wallin.
He's cut
much more
above the
eventful
eye
fight.
and inside the eyelid as well. There's a second cut as well on the same eye, so it's nasty, Mike.
And now that they've finally been able to clear it for good, we can see that second injury, which for most of the fight was actually covered by the blood flowing down the face. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Don Trellis, scores the bout 116 to 112. Eric Cheek sees it 117 to 111. And Tim Cheatham scores the bout 118 to 110. All three in favor of the winner. And still the undefeated lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Well, a muted response at ringside. The judges scoring the fight to Tyson Fury by 4 rounds, by 6 rounds, and the last judge agreeing with myself and Andy Lee. Tyson Fury winning by 8 rounds, in other words 10 rounds to 2 on our scorecards. But as you said, Andy, much more eventful, much more enjoyable than many of us expected.
Yeah, he's celebrating in the ring, Tyson, but he doesn't look overly happy. You know, he knows that this cut is bad news for him, and he's going to have to, like, you know, he can't just rest now and enjoy his victory. He's going to have to live
Otto,
with
you
this
said
cut
you
and
came
heal
here
it.
to win, and you
And is it
proved
the
that.
type of cut
How do you feel about your
that
performance
could
tonight?
dog him
Maybe the
for the rest
scorecards
of his
don't
career?
reflect.
It depends on who they get to stitch it. I'm sure he'll be taken to a plastic surgeon now and get it seen to by the best people out there. But there's no way of knowing which way a cut will heal, especially at this age in his life. He's not that young anymore, so that he can heal quicker. But we'll see.
Let's have a listen in at ringside now, because I believe Otto Wallin is being interviewed by ESPN, or are we going to hear from Tyson Fury? It's a bit confusing at the moment, but your thoughts on Tyson Fury throughout the contest were that he was having to work much harder than most people thought he would.
Yeah, and I think you have to give some appreciation to Otto Wallin. You know, undefeated, good amateur pedigree, good basic boxer, and with a good coach and a good game plan. I guess it was always going to be hard. It was never going to be a walk in the park or a one-sided fight. He definitely had a part to play in the fight. But Tyson found a way to win, and the cut, you can't underestimate how much that hindered it. You know, because up to that point he was boxing smoothly. He was looking like he was going to, you know, cruise to either a points win or a late stoppage. But then the cut really upset him and changed the fight. It made it a completely different fight.
And in terms of the odds and what they'll be now for the contest, if it happens against Deontay Wilder, I'd suggest they might have changed now after that.
I know, and as you say, a lot of the fights.
And let's listen in now to the ringside interview, ESPN talking to Tyson Fury.
That if they had stopped the fight, you would have lost by technical knockout.
Yes, firstly, I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ for giving me the power and strength and giving me the victory on this special weekend. Secondly, big shout out Bob Arum, Top Rank, Jimmy Pitero, ESPN, and Kevin Mayer. And after that, I want to say big congratulations to Otto. I just want to say rest in peace to his father. I know he'd be very, very proud of the performance that Otto Wallin just did. The great Swede, the Viking warrior. It was a great fight, you know. I got caught early on with the inside of the glove on the eyelid, which cut the eye, changed the fight completely. For majority of the fight, I couldn't see out my left eye, and then Southpaw Orthodox clashed heads and give me a second cut. I've not seen the cut, but it feels quite bad. But you know, I am a gypsy warrior. This is Mexican Independence Day. Come on, Mexico! Viva Mexico!
You told us in the fighter meetings you wanted a war. You wanted to finish this fight with a body shot a la Julio Cesar Chavez. You ended up with a face like Julio did against Oscar De La Hoya with the blood and everything. What did you learn about yourself in your performance tonight?
Listen, it was a good performance. I got a good 12 rounds in. Otto Wallin was a tough Swede. Blood, guts, heart, all showed tonight. I won the WBC prestigious Mayan belt, lineal champion, 5th defence of my title. Deontay Wilder, I want you next, bum!
You will get that next once you recover from this cut. And when we look at that, 2020 is the fight everybody sees. What did you learn tonight that will help you for that fight?
Listen, all preparation is good. You know, I had a long time out of the ring. That's my third fight back now. Fourth fight back. Put me in good stead now for the big boy, the old bronze bomber, the big Dosser, aka Big Dosser. He's next February 22nd. Let the cut heal, you know, enjoy myself and get some time to relax with the family. It's been a long, tough, hard camp.
Round 12 against Deontay Wilder was memorable. Right here against Otto Wallin, it was also a very tough round. How do you get through these rounds and just continue just coming forward?
You know what it is? It's all heart and determination. If I can keep going, I will keep going. You know, he was a tough guy, him with some chin shots and some body shots. He kept coming. He's 6'6" tall, 20-0. He didn't know how to lose, but tonight I was the better man. And again, one more time, rest in peace, Otto Wallin's father. He'd be very proud of his son.
Get stitched up, and we'll see you in February 2020, the rematch against Deontay Wilder.
Tyson Fury there talking to ESPN in the ring after his victory on points against Otto Wallin. A victory that many suggested would have happened inside the distance, but it didn't. It went all the way, with the judges, just to repeat, scoring the fight to Tyson Fury by 4 rounds, by 6 rounds, and agreeing with me and Andy Lee by 8 rounds, winning by 10 rounds to 2 on our cards.